Yeah. All right. And that is why baseball is the best. That is why there's nothing like baseball. Because last night, you tune in, you don't know what you're getting from German, who, by the way, whose June ERA before last night was almost 9. Right? Almost 9. And not only is he perfect, but the team who scratched out 1 run the previous night against the doormat explodes for double-digit runs.
Yeah, this
is baseball.
This is Susan. This is why the New York Yankees are confounding. And this is in a good way and a bad way. Obviously the bad because it feels like they're grossly underperforming. But the reality is they're 8 games over 500. Yeah, they're third in the division, but that's just because Baltimore is excelling and the Tampa Rays are ridiculous. But when you look at the bigger picture, the arc picture, not just the myopic one that we focus on as New York fans, the New York Yankees have the 8th best record in all of baseball by wins and losses. Now, it doesn't feel that way.
No.
But I think Domingo German's perfect game exactly captures the essence of this Yankees team. At times, they can be great. At other times, they can be terrible. But in reality, they have as good a chance as anybody in the American League of being the representative in the World Series. I said this yesterday, and we kind of didn't think about it. But think about this. They are 8 games over 500. They don't have their best player in Aaron Judge.
Yep.
Their pitching has been sporadic from a starting rotation standpoint. The bullpen has been fantastic. But that could change, right? Rodon is pitching. Nestor Cortez at some point is going to come back. Clark Schmidt, who, record-wise hasn't been fantastic, but over the last 6 starts, he's been really damn good. And Domingo German, if he can harness this and be the springboard for his season, I mean, his curveball was unbelievable yesterday.
He's had some games where he's been really filthy this year. He really has.
If Giancarlo Stanton would play right field and be engaged and hit home runs.
Yeah, is that the 7th contingency that you've laid on me so far?
But it is. But I mean,
is that all?
I'm just looking at the potential positive.
I can respect that.
The Yankees have as good a chance as anybody in the American League of getting to the World Series.
No, they don't.
No,
they don't.
Especially if they start to get right. It's not July yet.
Okay, so
and they're not fully healthy.
Right.
But they have these moments where you're like, damn, they are good.
Yeah.
Even though you have subsequent moments or previous moments where you're saying, God, this team is awful. They're an enigma, man. They are an enigma.
Okay.
But last night felt amazing.
Listen, I know that, you got to get into the topic. Waxing poetic is boring. I get it, but and I know you're not, don't undersell a perfect game.
Oh, of course not.
I mean, oh, my God, how hard that is, how amazing that is. 24 men in Major League Baseball history have done that, just 4 Yankees, which, by the way, since German did it last night, they break the tie with the Chicago White Sox for most perfect games all time in a franchise history. And also, this is the quirky nature of baseball. German, I told you about his June ERA, so nobody saw this coming, even against the putrid A's. But he's the first player in Major League Baseball history of the 23 other known perfect games to throw a perfect game after allowing double-digit runs his previous start. I mean, so we can hit you with all wacky minutia. Nobody saw this coming. But I just want to make sure that I'm hearing my partner correctly. And again, I appreciate the enthusiasm and potential optimism or potential for optimism, but it's the A's. Okay, and
it's not even about the A's.
But what if they would have lost last night 6-1? Like, I mean, think about how quickly
they had a perfect game.
You are flipping the script of this season based on one random performance against one of the worst teams I've ever seen.
That's not true. What I'm doing, BT, is looking at the fact that the Yankees have not been a good team over the last, say, month or so. And they've been littered with injuries from, Bader to Stanton. Now Judge is out.
Yeah, DJ's been banged up.
DJ's been Rizzo's. They haven't gotten close.
Even Bowers, when he first came up, got hurt making that sick catch in Texas. Left field, right?
They haven't gotten close to playing their best form of themselves this year. And they're 8 games over 500 and have the third or fourth best record in the American League, right? So it's not like there are world beaters that are keeping them from having a shot at getting to the World Series. Their dreaded nemesis, the Houston Astros.
That's a good point. Go ahead. Right? This is a good point.
They're 43-37.
The team that owns them does not feel as if they still have the papers of ownership right now. No, I got you on that.
It doesn't feel like
they're a weaker team
in their way.
Yeah.
Yes, they feel weaker.
They are weaker. They lost players.
For
and
the first time, it feels like the Astros, for the first time in a long time, it feels like the Astros are not the issue. Now, it could be the Rays, but the Yankees aren't close to being fully right. And they're still 8 games over 500 and have the 4th best record in the American League. It's bizarre because we don't talk about them. We've been railing
they haven't
on them.
earned earned. Oh, jeez, every time. Please don't play it.
That
they haven't earned the right to be dissected in such a.
Or is it because we're in New York? New York Mets have been so atrocious.
Part of it
that it's taking the headlines out of the staying afloat above water, not staying afloat below water like the Mets. Staying afloat above water is what the Yankees have been doing, and we need to commend them for working through.
I'll give you some of that.
This weird
the circumstances. We do gloss over what Tiki just said. I'm going to absolutely co-sign that statement. It's very easy. Hell, we do it every day. Every show does. Negativity sells. Not that we look for negativity, but you generally lead with negativity.
Yes.
If you have a controversial story on social media, compare the likes and the retweets and the interaction versus something that's like donating money to charity. It's not even comparable. Sadly, it's the state of our world, but that's the reality of the world we live in now. All right. So I do think that you're right. They deserve some credit for plowing through, and they've done it largely in an anonymous manner based on what we do for a living, because the Mets, with their payroll and their mess of a season, we'll get to them obviously later with Cohen's press conference, that has stolen the show. Yep. So you're right there. All right. So, but if I'm going to continue to play this game of possibility, you tell me where they are and what they might be and how they have a chance. Okay. I've got 4 questions for you.
Okay, shoot.
And if you answer 3 of them favorably, I'll give you a little pound here.
Go ahead.
Okay? And then meaning I'll jump into the
nice. I get to
hyperbole.
You.
Number 1.
Yes.
Does Aaron Judge return this season?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, just to be fair,
I think he's going to have to wear a steel toe.
Fantastic.
A steel
plate. Some Doc Martens?
No, a steel plate in his shoe to protect his toe.
Oh, that's comforting.
I remember because when I did my toe, I had to do that.
You had to play once a week, buddy.
And
I'm not minimizing it. I get it, but it's not every night.
DH, Stanton in right field.
Oh, Jesus. Okay, so
you asked if I had an answer. I had an answer.
Okay. Well, it doesn't mean I can't challenge your answer. I don't have to necessarily accept it right away.
I think yes. I think he plays at some point this season.
Okay, but I got to challenge you because I've been saying I'm not sure about that, and you've pretty much been agreeing with me.
Well,
did you see him limp out of the dugout last night?
I've been agreeing with you that he's not going to be back before the All-Star break, which, by the way, is a month away. So
it's actually less than that. Only a couple of weeks.
So a few weeks after the All-Star break, is he back? I would think yes.
I hope that you're right. Okay, so I will give you...
Can we assume that I'm right?
I'll put a check mark there.
Thank you.
But did you see him gingerly joining the celebration?
I did.
Okay, I just want to make sure you saw that.
I did.
That worries me. But
Very
we have
much
a little,
so.
We have a little check. Does Judge return? Check. Does Rodon resemble an ace?
Yes.
Okay.
I think that is absolutely going to happen.
And by the way, if he says no to these, it completely invalidates the points he's made so far to start the show, so I should probably expect this.
But Carlos Rodon had the rehab start. He had, 5 strikeouts?
The first one, you mean?
The first one.
Yeah, second one was pretty good, too.
He looked, exactly. So he's looking like himself. Now, it's a back injury, so it's not the muscle. And by the way, that muscle injury that's in his elbow, it's gotten more time to heal.
All right, so the answer is yes.
Yeah, so my answer is yes.
Is DJ washed?
2 for 2. Is DJ washed?
I told you I'm hitting you with 4 questions.
Not washed enough for me to be concerned about him.
I am not giving you that check. I'm very worried. I believe that he's
Can
washed.
we get an arbiter here?
Yes. Would you like Hoff or would you like Dove?
I'd like Dove.
I'll give you a second, boys.
Arbiter Dove.
Dove?
Hoff is biased.
Well, but before he answers, keep in mind, this is also the executive producer of Yankee Broadcast, and he wants to keep getting those tickets and those other, benefits that he gets.
Which is why I picked the right arbiter.
What's your answer, Dove?
I think Tiki's right. You can't guarantee DJ's back. I don't think that's going to be
not that he's back. He is back. I'm saying, is he washed?
saying the way he was.
Back to back.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
But even so, I think Tiki's point is still valid.
Yes.
What, that he's not washed?
That he's not
No,
washed.
I mean, even if he's washed, the Yankees can get around that.
Got it. But for this particular aspect of the checklist, is it an X or check?
Well, can I challenge you? Why?
You can,
why?
but I want to know his official ruling. He gave us both answers.
It's an X.
Okay, that's all I needed.
Oh,
X.
He basically said.
Hold on a second.
He basically said DJ's washed. without
Basically
saying
said, get back in
DJ's
your
washed.
hole, is what he said. All right, so
He's been bad in June. I give him that.
I've given you 3 questions. And he was bad last year, and the year before he was hurt.
He's
All right,
been
so
bad in
anyway,
June.
and he's almost 35 for a middle infielder and third base.
Okay.
I've given you 3.
Peraza, I'm just saying.
That would be interesting.
Exactly.
I've given you 3.
I'm invalidating your third question, but go on to 4.
So far, I said if you answer 3 favorably, I might be able to get that energy and say that the Yankees could be a dark horse World Series team. I don't feel it, but so far you need one more check, and here's the last question.
Okay.
Is this Volpe streak for real? Oh, you like these questions, don't you?
do.
That's right.
You're trying to position me
Professor
as
Tierney.
the anti-Volpier.
No, I love what Volpe's doing, but I need a real answer.
So-
Because we saw this little streak in late April, and then it completely went away.
You know when you're struggling with something, it's best to just get all the distractions away and focus on what you're good at. Yesterday, we had this conversation, or maybe it was 2 days ago, about Anthony Volpe. I asked you, who is he?
That was 2 days ago, yeah.
What's his best asset?
Yep.
You're like, he's got power. I'm like, dude, he's 180 pounds. He's not gonna live as a power hitter in Major League Baseball at 180-something pounds. And maybe he matures and gets stronger and puts on some Stanton or Judge muscles, and he looks different. But I think that affects him in the field. So I wouldn't champion that for him.
Okay.
But sometimes when you're struggling, you just got to be a hustler and do what you're best at. The fact that Anthony Volpe had 2 hits the other night.
3.
3 hits the other night. He had 2 hits last night,
Yes.
including
Here we go.
a bunt
Loved it.
down the first base line, which caused
About
J.P.
time.
Sears to be, flummoxed.
Well, that's the first time we've used that on the show.
Right, and try to shovel it over to the first baseman, and he throws it to his hand side as opposed to the glove side,
Yep.
And it creates a run. I love that.
Me
and then
too.
he gets on base, and the way he stole third base, he was like, dude, you're not going to look at me? I'm out.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Oh, yeah.
if he is that player, 100%.
But I'm asking you, is he going to be this
I
player
think
the
he
rest
is.
of the way?
I think he is.
Well, if
I
he
think
is, then
I
it
think
changes
he
the conversation.
Understands that trying to hit home runs all the time,
Yeah.
do it sometime, all the time, is not going to be productive for him.
Yep.
Because he's an athlete and he's young, he's fast, he's crafty. You could see it on his face, like he wants it. Like that bunt, you could see it on his face. He's just like, I don't care what's that. I'm gonna be safe here, right? So yes, to me,
Okay.
this version of Anthony Volpe is what we'll see going forward. The grinder, the hustler, the scrappy kid who I think we all wanted him to be, and instead he's squatting down trying to hit 400-foot home runs.
Yeah, he'll run into some because he's got that
course.
natural
But I don't
torque
want
and
to see
leverage,
that
but,
as him. I
yeah.
want to see him be a baseball player.
And just keep eating that chicken parm because ever since he sat down with his buddy in the minors,
Austin
he's
Wells,
heading
right?
Austin Wells.
Yep.
All right, so favorable answers. 877-337-6666. It is Tiki and Tierney on the fan.
Good questions.
I appreciate that,
I'm
sir.
invalidating number 3.
Interesting.
DJ's not going to matter because Peraza is going to come up.
That would be awesome. That would be pretty interesting. But,
Because he has earned the right
Yes, he has.
to take DJ's place.
Yes, he has. The other thing, too, just throw a little water on this. Now, this is the way my mind works. I don't know why, but I just have these, I don't know, it just goes to these places fast, right? So I'm watching it, and I see the celebration, and I'm absolutely immersed in the moment. And by the way, that's not an easy play for Volpe. No. That first one, that ball was hit hard, and that was not routine. That was a really nice play. Not a brilliant play, but a whole lot tougher than I think maybe some of you think, all right? Anyway, so the game's over. It's awesome. 24th Major League history. I love history, and I love baseball. It's my favorite sport. And as they pour out of the dugout, right?
I thought it was Aaron Boone out there first.
Yeah.
I was like, is that Aaron Boone?
No,
running
remember,
it?
Boone was at the end where he gave him like a 30-second hug.
I know, but I thought when
He
I first was
circled back.
watching it, I was like, is that Aaron Boone out there?
Yeah.
The second guy giving him the hug?
No, it
wasn't.
I don't think it was. But when I'm watching these Yankees jump on each other, and I have all these other snapshots like Paul O'Neill back in the day jumping on top of the pile and throwing his fist in the air and then like falling to the floor and all the other celebrations Yanks have had. I don't know why my mind went here, but I'm like, okay, can I see this team celebrating like that? Because it's very rare in Major League Baseball. You get a raucous celebration. You get it at home plate. You don't get it on the field.
Yeah.
But you get it on the field
I see where
in
you're
the
going.
playoffs.
I see where you're going.
And I'm like, no, how an amazing night, an amazing performance, which stencils his name into baseball lore forever and Yankee lore forever. But do I see this team celebrating like that in October?
Can we go to
Sadly,
Can we go
I
down
don't.
to Court Street or whatever and get BT to change his name to Debbie Downer? Come on, man.
Well, he's giving David Downer. Debbie.
David Downer. I mean, seriously, BT.
I'm just telling you.
How is that coming into your mind after Herman, who had been struggling?
Yeah.
But we know he's a good pitcher.
Yes, he's got good stuff.
We know he's got good stuff. And the command that he had was amazing. Like, when he needed a pitch, he was shaking off Higgy. Hey, nope. I'm throwing the curve. I don't care what you want me to throw. I'm throwing the curve.
And usually when somebody throws a gem, it's the opposite. They say that I was totally in sync with my catcher, didn't shake him off once. Usually that's what they say.
That's right.
I'm not trying to be negative. I mean, I loved it. I remember sitting there as 9 years old out in Blue Point, Long Island, watching Dave Righetti's no-hitter. I mean, this is my sport.
Yeah.
But I just don't think this team is it.
All right.
I don't.
All of the
Sorry.
karma.
Just because Stanton hits a meaningless home run.
It was meaningful for him. Did you see his reaction?
Meaningless to in the context of a season.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
there was no score.
I'm saying
it was
meaningless. The big
I
picture,
know what
not
you're saying,
the micro.
But he was pissed and he threw the bat
yeah,
down.
I
He
got
was
it.
like, "Yeah, I finally did it."
Good.
Then he had an RBI later in the game,
Stay
so it was
pissed.
2 hits. He played right field, didn't have any action really.
Stay pissed.
But
Stay
I
healthy.
need him to be pissed. By the way,
Yes.
some karma here. The other 3 perfect games in Yankee history.
Yes. We're going back to 56. We're going ascending or descending order. What are you doing here?
56.
All right.
Larson,
Yep.
98, Wells,
Yes.
99,
Coney.
on Yogi Berra Day, by the way.
Yes.
Weren't they all championships?
Yeah.
That's my mic drop right there, BT.
Ooh, you're so amazing. Like, I know you read that somewhere. I can't
Don't
imagine
tell
you
me.
were.
Don't tell me.
Make sure it's right with him. Did you double check it?
Stop.
I mean,
You know it is.
he is known to feed some erroneous information. Not intentionally, of course, but yes, Dove.
1956, world champion.
I saw something the other day. Like, this was pretty crazy. Like when LSU wins the championship,
Yeah, I saw it. I saw it.
2 other things happen. I forget what they were.
Yes.
Then the Yankees win the World Series. All right, I changed my mind. Yankees going to win.